What's going on? What's going on? We making soup today. Soup today on. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to episode 4 of John Eats Keto. Today I'm going to bring to you some comfort foods. One recipe is from delish.com. The other is from I Breathe, I'm Hungry. And usually she has some of the best recipes I've ever made. I'm going to go ahead and show you a popular sandwich that was viral when I first started keto, a cauliflower grilled cheese sandwich. And I'm going to show you a tomato basil pesto soup. The best comfort foods, I think. Whenever it gets cold, I always think of soups, and my mind always gravitates to grilled cheese and tomato soup. All right, so no more talking. Let's get to the videos. All right, let's make a little magic. Gonna take this head of cauliflower and turn it into sandwiches. First, we're gonna go ahead and cut off all the florets. You could toss the stem, you don't need it. You can use it if you want. And we're gonna break them down into smaller little floret pieces. We're gonna just chop them up real nice. And once you're done chopping them up, you're gonna go ahead and grab your food processor and drop them into the food processor. You can fill your food processor all the way up. If you don't have a food processor, you could do the long version, which is taking a hand grater and grating the cauliflower into little rice-like pieces. After you put all the florets into the food processor, just pulse it for a little while until you see that all the pieces have like a rice-like texture. It'll look like small little pieces of rice. Now from there, you're gonna wanna take about a cup and a half of grated Parmesan. The grated Parmesan is gonna help to keep the cauliflower to stick together. It's used as a binder in keto. If you didn't have eggs, you can always use grated Parmesan. But in this recipe, we are going to use 2 to 3 eggs. I used 3 for mine. I had a bigger head of cauliflower and I needed it to bind the patties together. So here I'm just mixing up, lightly beating the eggs, and I'm just gonna dump it into the bowl once I'm finished mixing the eggs together. And you're just gonna mix it together. You can do it with your hands, fork, like I did, and just blend the egg together. Blend the grated Parmesan together. I did add some basil for a little bit of added flavor. It was called in the recipe that I have. You'll be able to tell that it's ready when the pieces start kind of clumping together. They're ready to be formed into a patty, and that's what we're looking for. We're going to want to form like burger-like patties to make our bread for our grilled cheese sandwiches. So what I found that worked best for me was to measure each patty out. I put it on a scale, weighed each patty to 3 ounces, and then I poured each patty onto the pan and I spread it out into a disc-like form like you see with the back of a fork. I cooked each side for about 5 minutes. And then I placed the cheese on the cooked side and then let the cheese melt onto the bread cauliflower. So I think you can't have a grilled cheese without some tomato soup. So we have San Marzano whole tomatoes. I use some water some coarse salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and there are measurements in the recipe, but I'm more of an eyeballer because I've been cooking for a while. And then I just threw it into the blender and blended it until it was smooth. Once the tomato mixture was fully smooth, I poured it back into my pan, and then I added some mascarpone cheese, which gives it a nice creaminess. Also added 1 tablespoon of butter, and the mascarpone cheese is usually in the fancier cheese section. If you haven't seen it, you could also use cream cheese. I think you could also throw in some more Parmesan cheese, which adds a nice flavor, because at the end we are going to add basil to this soup, and nothing's better than some Parmesan tomato basil soup. I stirred in the mascarpone cheese until it was blended. You saw me add a splash of apple cider vinegar and some basil pesto. And like I said, ta-da, magic. You got low carb, keto, grilled cheese sandwich made with a whole head of cauliflower and a bowl of delicious tomato basil soup. Recipes will be in the description below with links. We had some delicious looking, I didn't know I could have grilled cheese on keto, and some delicious low carb tomato soup. Like I said, I love comfort foods. Comfort food and keto kind of don't seem like they go hand in hand, but trust me, there is almost a recipe for everything keto to have an alternative to something you like. But like I said in the first episode, don't try to dive in too much when you're first starting out, trying to look for all the Pinterest recipes, because you want to have something that you used to have from the standard American diet. Try to do the basics first. Eventually, you'll be able to branch out and have more foods than the easy get into ketosis kind of foods to help you sustain being in the ketogenic lifestyle. So, if you love this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Please leave some comments below if you have any questions, if you have tried this before, if you need any other tips regarding these recipes or any of them in the past. I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you next Monday on episode 5. Thank you.